Proceed, hero, into Terror's lair and get that fat loot! We start with the Fist of Heaven's Pally runs. On Pally run 36, 2 hours and 11 minutes in, we find Dracul's Grasp. Oh! Nice! A Dracul's! On Pally run 45, 2 hours and 43 minutes in, we find Shadow Dancer. On Pally run 60, 3 hours and 37 minutes in, we find Ormus Robes. On Pally run 62, 3 hours and 44 minutes in, we find a unique Faceblade. Is this an Azurath? No. On Pally run 68, 4 hours and 5 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. On Pally run 74, 4 hours and 27 minutes in, we find a unique amulet. Is it a Mara's? No. On Pally run 75, 4 hours and 31 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. Later that run, we find an Arcane's Valor. On Pally run 76, 4 hours and 35 minutes in, we find a unique ring. Is it an SLJ? No. The first drought for the Fist of Heaven's Paladin spanned for 12 runs and lasted for 41 minutes and 48 seconds. On Pally run 92, 5 hours and 32 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. Later that run, we find a Reaper's Toll. On Pally run 94, 5 hours and 39 minutes in, we find a unique amulet. Is it Amara's? No. The Fist of Heaven's Paladin was able to farm 12 red essences. It is now time for the Windy Druid runs. On Windy Druid run 5, 24 minutes in, we find a mod. Not a J mod. On Windy Druid run 6, 30 minutes in, we find Chance Cards. On Windy Druid run 10, we find a Messersmith's Reaver. On Windy Druid run 16, 1 hour and 23 minutes in, we find a unique amulet. Is it Amara's? No. On Windy Druid run 17, 1 hour and 29 minutes in, we find a unique ring. Is it an SLJ? No. On Windy Druid run 38, 3 hours and 22 minutes in, we find Marowaks. Later that run, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. On Windy Druid run 49, 4 hours and 23 minutes in, the first drought for the Windy Druid spanned for 12 runs and lasted for 1 hour, 1 minute, and 27 seconds. On Windy Druid run 62, 5 hours and 30 minutes in, we find a unique ring. Is it an SLJ? No. On Windy Druid run 64, 5 hours and 39 minutes in, we find a unique ring. Is it an SLJ? No. On Windy Druid run 71, 6 hours and 14 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. Later that run, we find an Amazon passive and magic skiller charm. The second drought for the Windy Druid spanned for 12 runs and lasted for 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 18 seconds. On Windy Druid run 84, 7 hours and 23 minutes in, we find A Griffin's Eye. On Windy Druid run 98, 8 hours and 35 minutes in, we find a set amulet. Is it a Talami? No. The Windy Druid was able to farm 8 red essences. Comparing the stats. The fastest run goes to the Fist of Heaven's Paladin with a run of 2 minutes and 58 seconds. 69 seconds faster than the Druid. The slowest run belongs to the Windy Druid with a run of 6 minutes and 59 seconds. The build with the fastest total time for all 100 runs goes to the Fist of Heaven's Paladin, which took 6 hours, 2 minutes, and 7 seconds. Over 2.5 hours faster than the Druid. This leaves the Windy Druid with an average time of 5 minutes and 16 seconds compared to the 3 minutes and 37 seconds for the Paladin. The build with the longest time without any notable drops was the Windy Druid build with a drought of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 18 seconds. The Windy Druid is so slow, it is quite disappointing.